The idea was to create happy spaces, a space that can lift your souls.
But do you really think that an architect should have a signature style or a recognizable style?
Then you will fall flat on your face. Everybody is in a hurry. But the problem is that architecture is not rapid. Architecture can never happen fast.
Good design looks effortless, but behind every well-designed space is a series of decisions, trade-offs, and real on-ground challenges. Today, we have joined by someone who understands not just design, but the reality of bringing that design to life. Architect Aman Sohal, through his firm Forum Advaita, has been creating spaces that balances strong aesthetics with practical executions. Welcome, Architect Aman Sohal, to Spaces and Stories by Waltz.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, Vivekji, for having myself here. Extremely thankful, grateful, and delighted for this conversation ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that you have spared time for us. So, my very first question to start the podcast with you, like how that architecture come to your mind that yes, I wanted to get into this profession.
So, Vivekji, honestly speaking, me getting into architecture has happened by chance.
Oh,
At the very first place, I never knew there is an architecture school in Chandigarh that exists. So I was always intrigued by drawing and paintings.
Wow.
So I had a sketchbook which I took to the College of Architecture, which I discovered inside the PEC campus. And I used to do portraits. So I said, this is what I do, and I know this is a College of Architecture. So what do you think, this college has to offer to me? So then, for the very first time, I got to know what architecture is. This is a school of architecture where you're, taught architecture, built environment, etc. And then somehow I got into architecture through this wonderful institute, Chandigarh College of Architecture.
wonderful, sir.
So that's how the start happened. And but then the way life took turns, I got a wonderful opportunity to go and work in Ahmedabad
Wow.
and work with architect Balkrishna Doshi after I finished my graduation.
Wonderful, sir.
And so that was probably the turning point when I started thinking about architecture, and I understood what wonders can one do if you practice architecture.
Yeah.
So this in brief, was my initial stint with architecture.
Wonderful. Mr. Architect Doshi is a strong name in India.
Yes.
And it's really appreciable that our Tri-City is really blessed that we have got, inspiration who are driven and, work like the legend, Mr. Doshi.
Absolutely.
Great, sir.
Yes.
So, as an architect, eventually everyone has got their own style. So, what is your style of architecture?
Vivekji, I think it's a very relevant question to ask. So this whole idea about trying to create a style is something that is taking away the crux of architecture from everyday's life. Because I am seeing that architects, especially the younger generations, in this whole idea to create a style of architecture, they are missing some of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
So going back to my days with architect Doshi, he used to say that, you follow the principles of architecture and you don't follow the style of architecture. Because architecture begins from inside out.
Yeah.
It doesn't start from outside in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in today's world, which is surrounded by Pinterest images and Google images,
Yeah.
and we are so very overwhelmed by what we see as an image, not trying to understand whether it is livable or not, because an image is static. Architecture cannot be static.
Yeah.
In architecture, we human beings, just like organisms, they move.
Yeah.
So any form of architecture where the movement is not planned
Yeah.
is only an image.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is that we are so overwhelmed with this style of architecture because we are only seeing images. And then Doshi sir used to say that, we have to create architecture of the inside and not the architecture of the outside.
Outside.
So when you say architecture of the outside, it means that the building stands as a focal point.
Yeah.
You are outside the building and you can take a picture.
Picture. Okay.
But the true architecture is an experience where the camera doesn't know how to take a picture.
Yeah.
And we have seen examples like that. We have seen Kala Academy by Korea. We have seen Kamala house, which is Doshi sir's own house. You stand inside that building and you try to capture that space inside the camera, you cannot do that.
Oh, wow.
It is that wonderful. Why does it happen? Of course, it will digress the subject of the debate. We can always take that up in the next this thing. So what I was trying to come at was that there was no style of architecture intended. The idea was to create happy spaces, a space that can lift your souls.
Yeah.
And then the style follows.
Wow.
So if the principles are to create an interesting and happy space inside, then you can do a modernist style. You can also do a classical style, or you can do a Chettinad house. So the style is always a byproduct.
Great.
So the focus should not be on the style.
Yeah.
So that has been my principle also.
Great.
So we stick to the principles of architecture. There are certain fundamentals we want to stick, certain philosophies we want to stick. And once you follow that, and then the outcome is only a physical manifestation of what you design in the inside. So style is never a priority for us or for Forum Advaita as a principle to begin with.
Wonderful, sir. But do you really think that an architect should have a signature style or a recognizable style?
See, it can happen eventually over the period of time after a rigorous exercise practicing architecture. But if you want to begin your practice by wanting to create a style, then you will fall flat on your face. The reason that I think is everybody is in a hurry because everything around us is available at a very rapid pace.
True.
You get instant coffee.
Yeah.
Let's say if you want to call a friend, you can instantly dial and call.
Yeah, 100%.
Instantly you want to go somewhere, you have the modes of transport, everything is there.
100%, sir.
Everything is instant around us.
Yes, sir.
Now we've also lost the patience of looking at or watching a film because you have reels and you have other things.
100%.
Of course, there are good sides of it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, because of all these things around us, our attention span has reduced.
Yeah.
So, as a result, unfortunately, the thing is that architecture is not rapid. Architecture can never happen fast.
Yeah.
It is a slow process.
It's a combination
and yes. And its objective is also to bring slowness.
Yeah.
Now we need to go deeper and understand why slowness is important.
Yeah.
And through your platform, I want to send this message to people who are listening. There's a very interesting book. It's called Slowness.
Oh.
It's written by Milan Kundera.
Great.
And you will understand the relevance of slow speed.
Wow.
So he gives a beautiful example of the difference of experiencing a street while on a bike.
Yeah.
In comparison to while you are on foot and walking and seeing things around.
Seeing things around, yeah.
So, all these relevances hold very truly in architecture.
Yeah.
So I think that is the issue. So the idea is to actually bring slowness. So because it cannot happen at a very fast pace, so the whole idea of trying to create a style is questionable.
Yeah.
None of the architects who've done wonders were trying to create a style of architecture at the first place. It was always a byproduct.
100%.
It was always a result of their philosophies that we see.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we don't try to see the principles behind what they did. We just want to imitate the style.
Yeah, true.
Say, for example, you will see students of architecture or professionals trying to copy sketches of Corbusier.
Yeah.
They would want to draw the way Corbusier did.
Yeah.
So Corbusier would draw a silhouette of a mountain, and we also want to copy and draw a silhouette of a mountain and silhouette of a river. But why did Corbusier did like that? He was trying to create an essence of a mountain, and he must have done those sketches 1000 times before he eventually understood कि एक mountain का silhouette एक stroke में भी बन सकता है. He didn't try to create a style.
Yeah.
He completed 1000 sketches and then he did something which was an essence of a silhouette of a mountain.
Yeah.
But we don't want to see those 1000 sketches. We just want to see the style of sketching.
Style and the final outcome.
Exactly. So that is the problem. So I'm happy you raised this.
Yeah.
So I hope I made myself very clear what I wanted to say.
100%, sir.
Yeah,
and in fact, I also wanted to share a small,
Please.
thing with you. One of your client visited us. So when he visited, so we asked, "Hey, who's the architect?" So he said, undoubtedly it is Aman Sohal. So he said, wonderful. So, in that journal conversation, because client was somehow known to us, तो उसमें जब हमने पूछा उनसे तो उन्होंने बोला why you selected architect Aman Sohal. So what he has said was a beautiful story, and I'm sure ये जो हम अभी recognizable style की हम बात कर रहे हैं, this also supports that thing. वो बोलते कि जब हमने सोचा मोहाली में घर बनाना है, we visited several sites. हमें जो पसंद आ रही थी हम shortlist कर रहे थे, so that जो उसमें से top 5 होंगी या top 7 sites होंगी उन पे हम जाएंगे and we'll ask the architect किसने डिज़ाइन की है. And he said the first 3, 4, 5 sites we visited, जब भी हम अंदर गए तो when we ranked and when we went inside तो पूछा कौन आ गया, अमन सोहल. So अमन सोहल. So जिस तरह से आपने उसमें क्रिएटिविटी की हुई थी, जितना उसके अंदर से एक डिफरेंट जीश था उसके अंदर और जो एक डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट निकल के आ रहा था, was highly admired by the customer. And when we saw that your recent site and this Wave Estate we did recently, तो वो वाली साइट तो देख के मतलब मजा आ जाता है. I saw the design of that gate, we copied that design.
Oh.
So we're coming up with the new showroom.
So wonderful.
So वहाँ पर we copied that design, and I took a permission from the customer कि मैं ले लूँ यार इसका. तो बोलते it is all Aman Sohal's design and idea.
Why not? Go ahead.
So wonderful,
Thank you.
sir,
Thank you for recognizing that. Thank you so much.
My next question just after this, like you, as you said that you started your overall journey, it was art who inspired you to get into architecture. So how art, really helping you and, getting you a different Aman Sohal altogether from the architects, working in the Tri-City?
Vivekji, when I started my journey in architecture right from the days of my, education times, I was always intrigued by drawing and painting. Then I continued doing painting, and then in the third year of architecture, we were introduced to painting and watercolor paintings. I got very fascinated by these, the whole process of watercolor painting.
Wonderful.
Now, when I finished my architecture, there was a dilemma that I like architecture. I am equally fascinated by architecture as much as I am with painting. Now, there was a question mark. Do I stop painting and focus only on architecture? Why? Because there is a notion in the society that unless you focus on doing one thing, you will not become master.
True.
But I did not choose to take that path. I continued painting and I continued my journey with architecture as well.
Great.
Until one day, then one fine gentleman said that you are nobody to decide what to pick for yourself. You keep doing whatever you want to do. Whatever has to leave will leave you by itself. So you don't make that choice. So I did that. And as I continued painting along with architecture, I realized that there are only techniques which are different from each other, but the principles remain the same. Not only that, eventually I started connecting the dots. I became better artist because of the principles of architecture. And I became a better architect because I was painting.
Wow.
How did this happen? Why did this happen? Is a very interesting process. On another day, I would love to share that with you. But what happened eventually was that one craft was acting like a catalyst to the other.
It's a complementary thing.
So this gave me motivation further that I should not stop and I should continue.
Wow.
And because I intended to continue, somehow God, the Almighty, created these spaces of time, in me that I could manage both of them.
Wonderful.
And because of that, so the art motivates me to practice architecture and the other way around. So there are lots of connecting dots that I have discovered. Say for example, I'll just give a few instances. So Vivekji, let's say you want to paint. And in fact, I have a very lengthy presentation where I've connected art and architecture both. You go to buy a sheet. You hold the sheet and you rub your fingers against the sheet to understand the texture of the sheet.
100%.
And then you start painting. Now, what do you do when you start a site? You go to the site. You take a map. You understand the site. You understand the soil capacity, compressive strength, this, that, and then you start planning.
100%.
So it is almost like going to the site and understanding the texture of the canvas and then on which you want to start painting. So when you approach a project like that, the results are very interesting.
The basic principle is same
yes. This is one principle that I shared with you as a connect. But there are multiple. So when you keep doing a parallel expression along with architecture, you will realize that one is contributing to the other. It's a beautiful journey in that case. तो जब आप इस प्रोसेस में स्टार्ट करते हो ना डिज़ाइन प्रोसेस, देन यू डोंट थिंक अबाउट आर्किटेक्चर एज अ बिजनेस मॉडल एट द फर्स्ट प्लेस. यू थिंक इट एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ क्रिएशन कि अब हम उसमें कुछ क्रिएट करेंगे और एंड में कुछ मज़ा आएगा.
Wonderful.
You know, so this is how it is intertwined, and one helps the other grow.
Wonderful, sir.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
In fact, it's motivating for us as well. In fact, I was discussing with my family and my team also कि यार अब kitchens कर लिया, wardrobe कर लिया, factory कर लिया, lighting कर लिया, furniture अब बस. But now, as you have said, कि ठीक है, the basic principle is same in the interiors. So expansion should not stop.
Yes.
So if I get a chance to add another vertical, another
Absolutely.
thing, yes, why not?
100%. I'll add one small thing which my teacher told me. They said there is a very famous notion that don't become jack of all trades, become master of one.
One, yeah.
Then he criticized the person who said this.
Oh.
He said because this person who said this could not train his mind to do multiple things, said this, that you should not become jack of all trades because he himself could not do that.
Could not do that.
As a matter of fact, not being jack of all trades and being master of one is equated to being successful.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of success makes us do only one thing at a time, because we carry success as a baggage, as an overload. कि successful बनना है तो एक ही काम करें.
करेंगे हम.
But if you understand the idea of success in a different way, the idea of success as inner fulfillment.
Yeah.
I want to do things that make me fulfilled from inside. Something that from within tells me to do it, and I'm doing it.
Doing it. Yeah.
If you see that as the idea of success, कि जो आप करना चाहते हो और वो आप कर पा रहे हो, अगर ये success है, then you will not stop here, na?
Yeah.
Then you will do so many things.
So many things. Yes.
So then the idea of success changes.
Yeah.
And then everything is a byproduct.
Yeah, true.
You know, so things like that.
So like in North, we generally find, people, is more intended toward grandeur, lavishness. So your practicality, design, your, practical approach toward the luxury. So how you find it difficult sometime to manage, or what is the challenges you face?
Vivek, there is always a challenge, especially in the North, because the idea of grandiorness and luxury is very different from what it does in, say, for example, down south. Because I've had a good opportunity to work in Bangalore also for good 3.5 years, and the idea of luxury is very, very different. And this interpretation of luxury and grandiorness has got a lot to do with the history. The way Punjabis have been, brought up, and the history that they have seen, and the immigrations and the wars and the battlehood that Punjabis have seen, and their overcoming of those battles and eventually giving them a sense of arrival where they want to now slightly flaunt a bit, and they choose to pick architecture as something which is immortal and which can create a signature for their arrival. Having said that, I believe there is a shift with the younger generations. There was a time with the older generations where the grandness was purely physical. So they wanted as grand as a bigger gate and a bigger entrance door, or a little flashy materials and gloss images, gloss finishes, things like that. But with the generation after that, we have seen there is a shift. Why? Because the younger generation, while they are respectful and rooted, but they've also seen other things. They have read more, they have traveled more, they have seen things across the globe through internet. So the shift has happened. Having that shift happened with you in this position, it is a very interesting time that you can slightly shift the idea of luxury.
Yeah.
This is something that I try and do in my projects. So for us, it is important that the built environment does not look a collage of materials. There has to be an intention behind choosing your material palette.
True.
There has to be an intention behind understanding how subtly you want to use a material if it is a little glittery.
Yeah, true.
So you can choose to do all that. And if you do that with all the conviction, then you will see things will change also. So So of course, it's a threshold, but we try to create that philosophy and help and educate the clients. The idea of luxury can also change.
Yeah.
So from only depending on flashy materials, the idea of luxury can also be an uplifting space.
Yeah.
A space which has got good play of light and shadow.
Yeah.
A space which has got, experiences with textures. You play with patterns. You play with greens.
100%.
You encourage cross ventilation. Cross ventilation can be luxury.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So it can, it is debatable. I can lock myself in a room with no openable windows,
Yeah.
only relying on air conditionings and considering that as luxury and comfort, and saying no to cross ventilation. But I can choose to do the other way around. I can consume less air conditioning, less artificial lighting,
100%.
more connection with nature, more connection with natural materials.
That is
and
also
I
luxury,
can,
yes.
That is also luxury. So the whole, so everything zeroes down to Vivekji is a choice.
Choice, yes.
Making a choice and standing for that choice.
Yeah.
Because if you get diluted with your conviction, it will get reflected in your architecture at the same time in the clients.
100%.
I can remember something that Doshi sir used to say, and which I also got a chance to interact with architect Sanjay Mohe, and he even said the same. So during our Doshi days, post office hours, we used to feel very excited that Doshi sir will come out of the cabin and will ask one question to Doshi sir, because every answer of Doshi sir will make you think. So on one fine day, Doshi sir came out of his office and we asked him, sir, how do you convince your clients? How is this Gujarati convincing a client? Because he's a creator, he's an artist, but he has a very Gujarati mindset, which all of us have to learn from. So we asked him, so how do you convince your clients, sir? So he gave one small answer and then he left. He said, you don't have to convince your clients, you have to feel convinced. He said that and he left.
Wonderful.
We didn't understand that answer,
Yeah.
back then in 2010-11. We are understanding that answer now.
Now that we
10
are
years,
convinced.
12 years later.
Yeah.
And when we put this answer into application, Vivekji, we see results.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Results that once you are convinced with your thought process, the design somehow
Almost
gets
the
through.
job is done.
Yes. So you don't have to use heavy terminology and lots of good vocabulary to convince your clients. It's a market gimmick. It's a business protocol.
Yeah,
but what I feel with my experience of 10 years of independent practice is that once you feel convinced, then the design will travel.
True.
Yeah, this is what I feel.
Wonderful, sir. So what one design trend which you really feel is really outdated, but still client ask for it?
There are lots of things actually, the clients that they ask for it. For example, every client wants an Italian flooring. I am not discouraging or encouraging, one side of the story. But this is something that people or clients regularly ask for. The clients regularly ask for, say, for example, overly sized bedrooms, or they want, let's say, carpet flooring, or they want open kitchens. So I am not discouraging any of these, but a thoughtful decision is very important. Now the problem here is that I see by and large with the clients in the northern region, what I feel that the clients, most of them, I feel they're not connected to their being. So when you're not connected to your being and you've not identified what is it that you like and not like, then you get too much confused by what is going around you. Because then in the fear of getting left out, you want to do everything that is updated. And that everything that is in trend. Then you stop questioning, do I really need this? Is it functional? Do I resonate with this material? Do I really need an open kitchen? Do I really enjoy walking on an Italian marble? There's nothing wrong in doing it, as long as it is your conscious choice. So once you start doing that, you get a lot of clarity, and then you can stick to your decisions. It can be as simple as that. So say, for example, the clients come to us and they say, for example, we love putting, river finish quota flooring on the as a flooring material. There are clients who say we love this material. It is a beautiful material to walk on barefoot.
Barefoot.
So they are connected, no?
Yeah.
They've experienced how does walking on a bare quota flooring looks like, or experience.
Yes.
What experience does it give you? But then there are clients who say we definitely want Italian flooring, but they don't know why they want that. They don't know what are the pros and cons. So we definitely try and have a conversation. We try and educate. We try and motivate them. This is the direction you can go. You can think. Yeah. Often we have seen good results. We have seen that the clients are shifting their tangent and thinking process.
Yeah.
So this is the difference, Vivekji. So that is where the key point lies in your decision making.
Great. So as we are talking about, the technology has been easily available with the general public, we can say, or with the common man. So how Pinterest disturbs your design and sometimes puts a barrier in front what you are thinking and making the client understand what is right for them?
Yeah, great question. Vivekji, we amongst the fraternity of architecture, we've been thinking about this question for a very long time. And I must say that we have a small platform called At Thresholds, where we encourage architects to come together and have discourses and discuss issues which everybody is facing. So one of those subject was use of Pinterest. So when we went deeper into discussion, so very interesting results came. Architects in their arrogance often like to discourage Pinterest images, and so I used to do that as well. But then very recently I realized on a few instances that when a client comes with a Pinterest image, I internally somehow liked the image. Now, in order to protect my image as an architect who does not like to borrow images from here and there, I would start defending myself out of arrogance that we don't use Pinterest images. We will do it ourselves.
We'll create new.
Yeah, but when I go to sleep late night, I realized that in somewhere deep down, I realized that Pinterest image was actually the right answer for that problem. Now, what do? If I copy paste, then I am not able to protect my image as a creative architect. If I don't do this, if I do something which I want to do creatively, maybe that is not enough. I might have satisfied my starvation of creating something. I might have fulfilled my satisfaction that I created something which was not borrowed from here and there. But if it is not fulfilling the objective of design, and the client is not feeling fulfilled and satisfied, which I believe internally could have been possible by the use of that Pinterest image, then also I'm not doing justice to the design. So then what's the middle path? So now these are the questions which we are still dealing with. So the answer that I've got so far is that any creative process that begins with yourself gives you satisfaction. But to be able to arrive at that position, you have to do your hard work.
Yeah, true.
So I do look at Pinterest images myself. But I don't look at them when there is a need to design. I look at Pinterest images for general inspiration. I want to see what the world is doing. Now when I create that library of Pinterest images in my head, after that I want to stop using Pinterest. Then I want to unlearn myself. Then I want to go back to my drawing board, my sketchbook, and sketch and evolve. So Pinterest images are being seen by us, but we make sure that there is a reflection of us as a philosophy, us as as a designer, and then we create something which is better than Pinterest. Now that is a challenge we are proposing on ourselves.
100%.
So that also motivated us to say to our clients, say for example, you come and say we like this from the Pinterest or from internet, and we want to do this. So then I would say, what if I give you better than Pinterest?
100%.
Suddenly there will be a moment of silence. Why is this architect saying like that? How can he give me something better than
and
Pinterest?
Pinterest is something which is the idea. It is not the execution or the practicality.
That is one side of it.
There is a mix and a tadka of practicality and execution in that Pinterest thing. So definitely something good can be.
Absolutely. So in this whole attitude of saying that we will create better than Pinterest, we would often see results that would challenge us, but then bring out the best out of us.
Yeah, wonderful. Sir.
Pinterest is here to stay. You can never say कि इसको avoid करके you do yourself. Maybe you are not doing justice to design, but there could be a way of using Pinterest which everybody can have an independent way of using it. Wonderful. So one has to know the right way of using Pinterest.
Very smartly you change the threat into an opportunity and can be used if it can be used properly. Yes. It is again an opportunity for sure. Yeah. Wonderful, sir. Great. Any instance recently, and because Pinterest is as we were discussing, कभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ हो जहाँ पर Pinterest का पूरा idea आपके सामने है कि नहीं ये घर ऐसा ही बनना है, and you totally change that idea and client is convinced?
See, first of all, as a practice, like I said, we don't follow that policy that we take that image and then we try to change. So whenever there is a moment like that, we very clearly tell our clients that you are most welcome to share your ideas, but we don't want to do that at the first place. Please allow us to share what we have in our minds, what we have to offer you. Maybe that is already better than what you have to give me. You let's start this relationship on a level of trust, where you say that this is the right architect and he has something better to offer to us. Not to be able to say this to your client, you need certain level of security. You need to feel certain level. You need to feel secured. Now this is a big challenge when you start a project. Mostly architects don't feel secured. There's always a fear कि ये client कहीं चले ना जाए. ठीक है, तो ये जैसा कहता है थोड़ा सा कर दो, ऐसा बना दो
ताकि हम स्टेज आगे बढ़ा लें इसको. Exactly. And conversation
Exactly. But this is the test. This is where you have to feel secured. You will lose projects. It's a difficult path to tread on. ठीक है ना? But you will see magics also happening. You have to wait for those times when magic will happen.
जब वो स्कूल में पढ़ते थे सर, दो रास्ते होते हैं, एक आसान वाला और मुश्किल वाला. जो मुश्किल वाला होता है वो शुरू में मुश्किल होता है, लेकिन बाद में it is very outcome is very good.
आपने बड़ी ना इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन पूछा है. जो हिंदू मैथोलॉजी का सार है कि कर्म किए जा फल की चिंता मत कर. If you deeply follow it, it is not easy. इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर आप करते में आपको मजा आ रहा है, कर्म के करने में ही अगर आपको मजा आ रहा है, तो फल तो आउट ऑफ क्वेश्चन हो गया ना.
बिल्कुल. तो रिजल्ट आउट ऑफ क्वेश्चन.
अगर मैं कर्म कर रहा हूँ, मेरे माइंड में रिजल्ट है,
बिल्कुल,
फिर तो आप ऑब्जेक्टिव ही नहीं समझे ना इस सार का. अगर आपको करने में ही मजा आ रहा है तो मेरा तो काम ही खत्म हो गया ना. मेरे को क्या करना है, मुझे तो डिजाइन करना है और फ्रीली करना है. अब जब अगर मेरे को वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई तो फिर डर खत्म हो गया, रिजल्ट का डर खत्म हो गया, है ना. देन यू स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग इट. तो ये है, दिस इज हाउ आई ट्राई टू टेक माई अपॉर्चुनिटीज and try and convert them in spaces of creations.
So sir, what is the biggest gap you generally feel that project on paper and project in execution?
The biggest gap, I would say there are two gaps fundamentally. The first gap is the passion of the applicators who are working on site. If you find a mason or an applicator who is not passionate about his own work, तो एक तो वहाँ पे things don't fall in place. If you find a passionate applicators, passionate people on site, whatever challenge you throw in front of them, they take it. And they say, let's do it this way, or maybe if you do it this way, it becomes still better. That motivates you so much. I can so proudly say the people whom we have been working with, they throw challenges against us. कि सर ये डिटेल को अगर हम ऐसे करेंगे तो ऐसा हो जाएगा, तो ऐसे करते हैं, तो वी ऑल्सो स्टार्ट थिंकिंग. दिस इज द फर्स्ट गैप. द सेकेंड गैप आई वुड से इज frequent site visits. There is a very famous notion nowadays amongst younger practices कि हम तो इतनी बारी साइट पे जाएंगे beyond a certain limit. If we go to site, that means we are undervaluing ourselves. This is a notion. Now I'll tell you the other side of this. The notion with which I learnt architecture, I'll go back to Doshi sir now. Now Doshi sir used to say, you should often go to sites and listen to the murmurings of the site. वो क्या कह रहे हैं कि जब आप साइट पे जाते हो तो साइट आपकी कानों में कुछ बातें करती है और वो आपको क्लू देती है, हिंट देती है नेक्स्ट स्टेप का. अब कितना मज़ेदार बात है ये, कितनी पोइटिक बात है. अब इस पूरी पोइटिक बात को मैं अंडर वैल्यू कर सकता हूँ ये बोल के कि सर हम तो 5 बार ही आएंगे, 6ठी बार नहीं हम आएंगे. दिस माइट क्रिएट अ वेरी सुपीरियर काइंड ऑफ एन इमेज ऑफ यू इन फ्रंट ऑफ द क्लाइंट. ये तो बड़ा आदमी है यार, ये तो 5 के बाद नहीं आता, ये तो फ़ोन भी 10 बार करो फिर उठाता है. You know, it is very easy for you to spread that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you miss all the fun that you get. तो जो पूरा पोएटिक प्रोसेस है ना आर्किटेक्चर का,
साइट यू विल मिस.
पता है क्यों वो पोएटिक बोल रहा हूँ मैं? क्योंकि वो सिर्फ आपको सुनती है, वो किसी को नहीं सुनती.
बिकॉज
अभी देखो कितना डिवाइन एक्सपीरियंस होगा. आप गए वहाँ पे, आपको कोई क्लू नहीं है कि वहाँ पे क्या करना है, एंड देन सडनली आपको सुनना शुरू होता है, यार ये ऐसे नहीं ऐसे होना चाहिए
जी.
उसके लिए आपको ओपन रहना पड़ेगा. बट उसके लिए यू हैव टू बी ओपन to be able to redo drawings, recreate working drawings, redo everything, etc. etc. I'll give a very small example. हमने अभी एक प्रोजेक्ट किया, उसकी फ्लोरिंग कंप्लीट हुई. वी हैड पुट येलो जैसलमेर. तो उसकी ग्राइंडिंग खत्म हुई, तो उसमें 5-6 पीसेस इन द सेंटर ऑफ द लिविंग रूम, वो स्टोन खराब हो गया. तो उसमें ना वाइट कलर के, पर्पल कलर के, देयर वर शेड्स दैट केम आउट एंड इट वाज नॉट लुकिंग गुड. Even while we understand it's a natural material, it has a tendency to give different shades of yellows, but it was giving shades of purples and whites and etc. and it was not looking great. Now there were 2 ways to go about it. One, कि ये 6 के 6 पत्थर निकालो, इसको रिप्लेस कर दो, ठीक है. But what we tried to do was we saw an opportunity there. Same experience. We tried to listen to what the stone wants to say. तो जितना भी वहाँ पे खराब पैटर्न था, खराब स्टोन था या जितने भी पैचेस थे, हमने एक पैटर्न क्रिएट किया एंड वी क्रिएटेड अ ब्यूटीफुल इनले आउट ऑफ अ डिफरेंट स्टोन, ट्राइंग टू हाइड दोज मिस्टेक्स बट स्टिल बीइंग एबल टू क्रिएट अ न्यू स्टोरी. तो स्टोरी चेंज हो गई तो कहानी चेंज होगी, सोल्यूशन चेंज हो गया. यू हैव टू बी रेडी फॉर द सच सिचुएशंस एंड देन बी ओपन टू address them. So if you work with this concept, then the life is very interesting. Then architecture is not then you don't crib. यार ये हो गया, अभी मेरी 4 ड्राइंग और जाएंगी, मेरा 10 दिन का काम डिले हो गया, मेरी पेमेंट्स डिले हो जाएंगी. ये सब आ जाता है
जब when your soul is involved into something, definitely वो जो connection बनता है, that is something very deeper than what somebody can experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now this recent project that you and Shreya had worked, Manish's house in this thing, it is completed, handed over. It's in more than 2 months. There's a recent change that is going to happen. उनका backyard में there was a tree we planted, and we realized that the sun doesn't fall directly onto the tree, which it required to grow. Now they want to change the position of the tree to elsewhere, etc. etc. We are changing it now. तो अब यू कैन से कि यार काम तो खत्म हो गया था, पेमेंट्स तो आ गई थी, अभी मैं क्यों काम करे जा रहा हूँ.
बट द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ दैट हाउस इज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, सर, वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग. एंड क्लाइंट इज रियली हैप्पी विद द डिजाइन. एवरी टाइम वी गॉट अ चांस टू मीट मिस्टर मनीष एट साइट. So it was a totally, half of the time we used to praise you, and then they were very excited to make you see different things what they did in the site. This we did. This is the wardrobe area. This is the kitchen. This is the concept. The concept of stairs you have given it. That is something which is very beautiful, sir.
Thank you. नहीं, equal credit goes to the client as well. आर्ट में ना एक बड़ी खूबसूरत बात कही गई है कि एक आर्ट का जो एक्सपीरियंस है उसके लिए 2 लोग चाहिए, रसिक और रसिका. रसिक वो है, आर्ट है. रसिका जो एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द आर्ट है. अगर ये दोनों नहीं होंगे ना तो आप अकेले कमरे में पेंटिंग्स बना के टांगते रहो, उसका कुछ फायदा नहीं है. अनलेस देयर इज समबडी टू लुक एट एंड एक्सपीरियंस इट. तो so that is a win-win situation. So when you get good clients like Manish ji, so who had that vision, and then you are also there, so it's always very nice and encouraging.
Sir, how do you ensure that what you design is actually going the same in the execution?
I mean, multiple things. Like I answered before, first is that you must have a constant connect with site. For that you must visit your sites regularly. Even if you have a site engineer, even if you have a senior architect or interns going to sites regularly, it is important that you stay connected with the site.
True.
So the notion that we try to work, or I personally try to work with a project, that at any given point of time nobody should know more about the project than me.
Great.
चाहे वो प्लम्बिंग है, चाहे इलेक्ट्रिकल है, चाहे कुछ भी है. इस प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर कुछ भी सवाल हो, सबसे ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन मेरे पास ही होनी चाहिए. तो ये मेरा ग्रीड है, ये मेरा लालच है कि इलेक्ट्रिकल का भी मुझे पता होना चाहिए, इसका भी पता होना चाहिए, इसका भी पता होना चाहिए. However, as time progressed, it is not practically possible. But if you work with that notion, then you will see things will fall in place. You will make conscious choices of going to sites.
100%.
That is one. Don't go to site visits only when the client says come. Go independently when there is nobody on site. that gives you a lot of freedom to think on site without feeling a pressure of giving a solution at the same time.
Wonderful.
So that is one. Cross-check your drawings before they are getting delivered to
the
site.
customer.
Make sure the coordinated set of drawings are delivered in place. Even when you have prepared a crisp working drawings, a set of working drawings, make sure they are also verbally communicated. Is what we also feel. What we have also started doing recently is that once we have shared a set of working drawings, we also share methods of application. So say for example we've made a flooring pattern, ठीक है? Flooring drawing देने के बाद भी आपका काम खत्म नहीं है.
नहीं है.
आपको बताना पड़ेगा एप्लीकेटर को या उसे क्वेश्चन करना पड़ेगा कि अगर आप टाइल लगा रहे हो तो टाइल को ले करने के आपके पास टूल्स हैं, आपको केमिकल कैसे लगाना है टाइल के पीछे उसका मेथड पता है, किस डायरेक्शन में आपको लगाना है, डू यू नो हाउ डू यू मेक अ कलम when the tile turns, are you aware of that? So you have to get yourself engaged in a conversation with the mason, with the applicator. When you do that, you also gain confidence. The applicator gains respect
100%.
and confidence. He also feels there is somebody looking after the project and there is somebody whom I can go to and ask questions.
Yes.
So ये 4-5-6 चीज़ें if you do, and I think things fall in place.
100%. मैं खुद ये पर्सनली अपनी ओवरऑल अपने वर्किंग उसमें ऐड करूँगा that going on site alone will help you to talk with the site better. Murmuring of that.
And you enjoy the process.
Yeah, true. है ना? So that is
हम क्या करते हैं ना, हम जब हार्ड प्रेस्ड होते हैं with deadlines, we only visit then. What my suggestion is कि आप और भी तो इधर उधर घूमने जाते ही हो,
तो साइट क्यों नहीं
चले जाओ, 10 मिनट लगा लो, and then you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and so then you enjoy your process.
Sir, as the kitchen is the most used space in the house, so what is one basic, thing generally people miss while planning a kitchen?
Yeah, with increasing trend in modular kitchens, I think understanding the social aspects behind the kitchen is very important. Often ये देखा गया है कि we don't try to understand कि kitchen use कौन करेगा
जी,
क्या ये owners use करेंगे या ये domestic help use करेगी या कौन use करेगा. That is probably the fundamental question that you can come up with. First thing first, है ना. Secondly, what is the kind of utility of the kitchen? How passionate is cooking inside that house? How passionate are people, to cook in that house? This is another question that you can address, which people often miss. Then in order to and then people get so swayed away by the swanky and prim and trim looking kitchens of the West, they forget how kitchens should be made in India. What is the cooking style in India? So these are few programmatically and social questions that one must address. Say for example, we did a house in sector 109, and just like any other house, we chose to keep the kitchen in the far end so that the wet kitchen can spill out a little. But when we had more conversations with the client, the client said that they are very passionate and fond of cooking. So not only that, that the lady of the house had a podcast like the way we are doing, where she uploads recipes and food items. She had a YouTube channel. So that was a level of passion with which she liked to cook. So the entire planning changed. So we brought the kitchen in the middle. The kitchen was next, now abutting the courtyard, which was also in the center. And from the kitchen, you could overlook into the courtyard, into the family area, into the dining. It became the center, the heart of the house. Rather than keeping it a little secluded, कि smell पीछे रहेगी, ये पीछे रहेगा, we don't want that. So the whole the storyline behind the kitchen changed. Then there are some misled notions in our heads, which I personally always keep fighting with the clients. एक हमारा notion है कि kitchen की smell should not travel in the living room. It is not fashionable, etc., etc. But I have a little different take on this. The smell of what is being cooked in the kitchen, if it travels you, it adds to the warmth and the coziness and the intimation with the house.
Yeah, true.
So Doshi sir used to say the experience of a space is complete when you touch 5 senses: sight, touch, smell, sound, and smell, of course. And then the one that I'm missing is so the five senses that you say. How often you see in the experience of an architectural space is smell considered?
Yeah, it is not.
It is
Generally
not.
people see and feel.
See and feel.
Yeah.
Or then Doshi sir gives the example of a temple.
Yeah.
Temple is the only place where all the five senses are touched.
Yes.
आप जाते हो, सबसे पहले आप अपने पाँव जो है पानी में डुबोते हो, तो यू हैव दैट सेंस ऑफ टच एंड यू स्टार्ट वॉकिंग. फिर आप मंदिर की घंटी बजाते हो, फिर कानों में आवाज़ आती है, फिर अंदर धूप बत्ती चलती है, उसका स्मेल भी आता है, फिर आप देखते भी हो पूरी वाइब्रेंसी. तो आपके सभी जो सेंसेस है ना, यू आर दे बिकम एक्टिव. ठीक है. एज अ रिजल्ट व्हाट हैपेंस, यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग डिसएंगेज्ड फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड. But on a regular basis in a commercial or a residential project, it is not possible to evoke all the five senses. But we must try and be conscious to evoke them as much as we can. So the whole idea of, imagine you walking inside a house and there is something nice being cooked और living room में आप बात कर रहे हो. I don't understand what is wrong in this.
Yeah, 100%. We totally agree. It is the heart of the home and
ऐसे बहुत सारे मिसलेड नोशंस हैं हमारे आर्किटेक्चरल स्पेसेस को लेके जो लोगों ने बोरो कर लिए हैं ब्लाइंड फोल्डेडली एंड नॉट ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द जॉय इन दैट एक्सपीरियंस.
And it is not at all smelly at all, sir. सबसे बड़ी बात है, we have got the best appliances available now.
Yes.
So if the kitchen is properly designed and properly executed, with the design of the house, I don't think there is any problem at all.
पहली बात. Secondly, you get high suction, chimneys and everything. तो वो सारा, it gets taken care of. And you can always choose to create a kitchen which is partially closed, partially open. You can have the choice of closing it and opening it. Let there be a possibility of rearrangement in the house. So the whole space becomes dynamic. You have a choice. आपको बंद करनी है बंद कर लो, खोलनी है खोल लो. So why do you want to make things very static? कि there cannot be just one answer ना. आप एक पूरे घर में रहते हो. There are different seasons of the year. There are different times of the day. You have to see your house or your kitchen differently at different moments of space and time. So I think these are the few key factors which people often miss, which they should not miss, and get these questions answered and then design the kitchen.
So other than the concept, like this is the concept where people have got that reservation in mind. So while planning the kitchen, we are talking about the workability and the usability of the kitchen. So what is the basic challenge you feel generally you face while designing a kitchen?
So now the recent challenge that we are facing is that definitely everybody is looking forward to having a very neat and clean main dry kitchen and a very spacious wet kitchen. But what has started happening is now they want let's say a double door fridge in the main kitchen, but they want a surplus fridge in the wet kitchen as well, because in the Indian style of living हमारा फ्रिज में एक फ्रिज में it is not enough. So they want one more fridge. Then they want a wet kitchen में the bulk cooking, major cooking. The main kitchen may they don't want to cook as much, but they want to do some dry cooking or something like that. So there are two hobs. Now there are two chimneys. There are two fridge. Okay, and then they also want to accommodate laundry and other things within the same space. Now the space available is less, so you have to accommodate everything. And then they want a closed kitchen as well. So ये सभी challenges अभी आ गए हैं. So which
the opportunity of business for us is expanding further.
Absolutely. So the possibility of innovation lies way more than what it used to be in the past. And I'm sure with dynamic people like you, these innovations are possible. In this the kitchen industry.
So as an architect, sir, you have got a great insight, as you yourself get into the house so closely that you monitor everything yourself, that what is going on, what is being decided and what is being chosen by the customer. So what is that one detail which makes the huge difference when you design a kitchen or decide a kitchen for that house?
See, a very consciously designed kitchen can actually enhance coming together of the inhabitants of the house. उसका एक बड़ा interesting detail that one can follow is that, of course, we give breakfast counters. Recently we did a project where we did not give a breakfast counter. We rather gave a extended bench. It was like a seat where one can squat. So it is like an 18 inches high, 4 feet in length seat, where the lady of the house, if she is cooking, She can choose to sit there and then chop a few things like a traditional way of doing things in the older traditional kitchens. And then, suddenly she can be part of the main kitchen as well.
Yeah.
So, इससे क्या होता है कि there is a very strong sense of connect with the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you can use it differently. You don't only have to come there, sit to eat. You can be in the kitchen, and then your kids can come. If you have younger kids, they can come sit there with, let's say, their textbooks and read while in conversation with their mothers, and the mother feels secure because the kids are around.
Yeah.
So it need not be a very static in approach. Ki if the lady of the house is cooking, the kids only have to go and sit on the study table and read and study.
Yeah.
The entire house is yours. Why don't you make it playful?
Wonderful.
This
It
could
should be a
be-
place where it should not be considered as a place of cooking only.
Yes.
It should a place where stories can be made.
It has to lead to accidental conversations.
True.
And this is one detail. Then we did another kitchen. उसमें क्या था कि there was a dilemma, like I said before, that do we have an open kitchen or not an open kitchen? So then we gave them a door, but then we gave them a big service counter with the bifold windows. And the lady of the house, when she is cooking and she wants to serve from within the kitchen, so she can slide the plate right outside, so that you open that window and then you get an extended platform where you can serve it like a pantry, and then the plate can be taken to the dining space. So things like that create interest in the space.
100%. In fact, why Italians, have got that edge while planning a kitchen. So most of the Italian companies, when they work, they don't make kitchens. They make stories in the kitchen, so that a concept formation where people can sit, people can work.
Absolutely.
In fact, we can also have a podcast in the kitchen as well.
Oh yes.
So it should be a place where stories can be made.
100%. So it increases your experience.
100%. So what is one challenge which actually made you change your design vision at one point of time? So any challenge which hits you strongly?
See, every project comes with certain kind of challenge. If there are no challenges, then we try to create a challenge for ourselves so that the journey becomes inspiring. That is one part. But having said that, I can very clearly remember one house that we were doing in New Chandigarh, where the clients were also from the arts background, and they had some very radical ideas, and those ideas were not part of my vocabulary. And there was a conflict initially. They wanted things in a certain way, I wanted things in a certain way. But they were so strongly opinionated that one of us had to step back. Unless we do that, the project would not take any shape. So I chose to step back. This is my experiences of trying to understand how practice works. So I thought, let me step back this time. Previous projects, I was not stepping back, they were stepping back. Things went wrong. Let me choose to step back. Let's see what happens. Okay. But when I did that, I saw some amazing radical ideas from an arts background the clients. They gave some amazing ideas. They got added into my vocabulary now. For example, in that house, when we do a door design, we either choose to do it in paint or let's say we choose to do it in polish. Let's say, ठीक है. तो उसमें हमने क्या किया कि the client said कि हम जो डोर का फ्रेम है उसको हम कलर में करेंगे. डोर का जो शटर है उसकी एक साइड कलर होगी, पिछली साइड पॉलिश होगी. मैंने कहा this is not how it functions. But they did that and it came out to be so amazing. That house is like unfolding of painting. There are so many colors in that house.
Concepts.
There are so many lights, and it looks so beautiful when put all together. So this is one challenge that we initially thought will not work, but by being receptive and open to the ideas, the radical ideas, I think that got added into our vocabulary.
Wonderful, sir.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So looking ahead with the vision, what you have. So what do you feel that how the modern living will, gonna evolve in the coming years?
मुझे लगता है कि especially in the tier 2 cities where the younger generation is very well traveled and very well read, they have seen good things. They strongly encourage the role of a professional like an architect in making a project. So that shift will happen in the coming 5-6 years. Now with that coming into picture, everything else will also get updated. There'll be new designs, there'll be new approach to the designs. I also feel very strongly that people have started connecting with themselves very strongly, and they will do that. There is a strong shift that we can see that people have started embracing simplicity with the relevance to art and not blindfoldedly copying pasting West or any other design that looks good. Of course, there are going to be challenges with AI coming into picture. The architects will have to be on their toes, but at least there are possibilities of innovations. So I think that shift is going to happen in the next coming years. People will embrace innovation in materials, innovation in creating a fusion of modernity and tradition. So all those things are going to happen, and we are at a very exciting times now. These are very exciting times to practice architecture, art. So yeah, this is my hope for the future.
Great, sir.
So Vivekji, what I am saying is that with this new shift, the younger generation, which is more informed, I think there is a very strong possibility of architects coming in, and the clients are also embracing innovation in materials, in innovation in spaces. So the clients are also very well traveled. They are also informed, and so I think that is a shift that I am already seeing, and I think it's very interesting, and we are at very interesting times to be practicing architecture and art.
As if there is a complete freedom to you to design, like a right execution team is given to you, and a freedom is given to you that you want to redesign something, so what is that project you wanted to redesign, and what is that project you wanted to design that? Yes.
So Vivekji, I think my dream project would be designing a space for solace.
Wow.
A space which you can enjoy your own company.
Yeah, great.
Because this is something which is missing in today's world. Everybody needs companionship to feel happy.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to enjoy their own company. तो
yeah.
मुझे अगर ऐसा कुछ मौका मिलेगा तो I would want to design a space where you can go, sit in silence and still be able to feel in harmony with your built environment.
Wow.
तो ऐसा कुछ interesting मज़ेदार project बने.
Because nowadays people wanted to explore other, they don't want to get inside them.
Yes.
To explore them, which is I think most important thing to do.
Yeah.
The purpose of life to निकले.
Exactly.
So in the last, I just would like to know the honest advice you would like to give to the customers or the people who are designing home, listening to the podcast.
Right.
That what one advice they should definitely follow.
I think the first advice or a suggestion would be that you engage professionals.
Great, sir.
And you engage them with absolute trust and faith, and then allow them to bring out the best out of them by giving them an absolute creative liberty and freedom. Follow a path of modesty and conversations through which the design evolves, and not the path of arrogance. And it's for both the cases, for the owners as well as the professionals. Even the architects can choose this path. At the first place, have a path of modesty and conversations and understanding the requirements of the client, and be empathetic towards each other. Understand why is somebody here in this position working on this project. Get the right team. The biggest struggle is getting the right team in position. Good design team, good execution teams. These are the two big challenges today. If you can manage to do that, you
90% of the job is done.
Absolutely, and the time is money.
Yeah.
You save time, you save everything.
Yeah.
And construction is not something that it used to be 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Where you think you can stand on site and everybody will follow a discipline.
Yeah.
It is not like that unless you have a construction background. If you don't have that, then you please engage professionals.
Yeah.
You will not only save time, you will also save money.
Money as well. Yeah.
It's a value for money when you engage professionals.
Great, sir. And one advice to the youngsters who are passing out or started their career?
I have a 2-word suggestion, and that is go slow. So, the younger generation is too much in a hurry, and I just want to tell them that you will get your time, you will get your chance. Embrace life. enjoy life.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants to get recognized as early as possible,
Yeah.
because this whole idea of getting recognitions and results and awards and publications has become very common. There are multiple platforms which offer you to and excite you to do that. But I also feel all this will happen eventually, but give yourself enough time to embrace life.
Yeah.
Like Doshi Saab used to say. So when I say embrace life, means you enjoy everything that you are doing. You live life. How do you do that? You read.
Yeah.
You draw, you paint, you travel, you engage yourself with healthy discourses and conversations with people, read, reflect and ask questions. तो ये सब जो है आज की डेट में skip हो गया है, and people are in a hurry to be able to prove a point.
Yeah.
So this is my suggestion, and that's about it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving us time. We are really honored that you spared precious moment. You spared time to give us a podcast session. So looking forward for many more podcasts in near future, and wish you a very best of luck. You are doing such a nice job for the fraternity, and just happy to listen your ideas, and we wish that you will do wonders for the fraternity, sir.
Thank you, Vivek ji. I also want to extend my thanks to you, to Waltz, to your team, to Shreya, and everybody in your team for inviting me here. It is only because of these opportunities that we also get to express our concerns and our thoughts. And I hope that this conversation travels as much as possible.
100%,
and as many people benefit out of it.
100%.
I hope. And thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
For
Thank you
having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.